This is Arizona Forum, a weekly conversation focusing on the issues affecting the Grand Canyon State. Now your host, State Representative Jay Lawrence.
Wherever you are in the state of Arizona, and on whatever station you're hearing us, good evening, welcome. Thank you so much for letting us be part of your evening. It is a pleasure to welcome a good friend of mine tonight. And if you're curious about who he is, you can find him on YouTube, find him on Google. Mosky at the Movies. Hi, Mosky.
Hey, Jay. Great to be here. It's truly an honor. Thanks for having me.
I am so glad you're able to join us. I know that you're getting ready to do your critique of Justin Timberlake at halftime, and I'm so glad we get to talk at the movies. And I've got a hunch that we may have to make it a continuing story. There are so many stories in the movies, so maybe we'll do this again. We'll continue it next week as well. Right.
Yeah, part two. That's a great idea, actually, Jay. I'll go for that.
All right. Let's start with supporting roles. We'll start with the easy ones first. Supporting actresses. Who are they, and what are the films, and what do you think?
Yeah. Okay. So supporting actress. Now we're talking about the main actress, best actress. You got Sally Hawkins for The Shape of Water. I'm sorry, supporting. Supporting. The supporting. You got Leslie Manville of Phantom Thread, Allison Janney, my favorite, by the way, on I, Tonya, Laurie Metcalf for Lady Bird, Mary J. Blige, the R&B artist, for Mudbound, and Octavia Spencer, The Shape of Water.
And what are the movies? What are the films? And what do the supporting actresses do that makes them outstanding, Mosky?
I would say, really, again, the word supporting is really an apt word. It's bolstering the main character. They're not the main character. They don't have as much screen time, but they're pretty prominent. And in the case of I, Tonya, one of my favorite films of the whole bunch in 2017, is Allison Janney, who plays Tonya Harding's mom in I, Tonya. It's just so real and genuine, and it's like a character you can take notice of, Jay. That's the way I look at it.
So you do see her in the movie?
Oh, man, do you. It's terrific. It's almost as prominent as Margot Robbie, who is also nominated, but she's nominated for Best Actress. So almost as prominent as the Tonya Harding character.
What about directors? Now, I know that Dunkirk is a huge film. What a monster film. I'm not familiar with Get Out or Lady Bird. Phantom Thread, The Shape of Water. And Guillermo del Toro is a well-known director. What do you think?
Yes. Well, as far as, which one do I think is going to get picked, or which one I think is going to win? This is two different things.
Yeah, which
one I want. Go ahead. What's that, Jay?
Which one do you think, Mosky?
The person I think it's going to be Guillermo del Toro, because he's won the Golden Globes, and he's also won the PGA and DGA awards as well. So I think it's going to be him. In my opinion, a shoo-in for him. But who I'd really like to see win it, but it's not going to happen, is Greta Gerwig. A lady in her early 30s, former actress now. This is her directorial debut. Is from Sacramento. It's a terrific portrait of somebody growing up in contemporary times in Sacramento.
Mosky, when did you start doing Mosky at the movies? You've been doing it for a while.
Yes, and you had me on last year. We talked about the Oscars. I started, Jay, last year in February, and how it emanated, real briefly, is I was posting really passionate, angry, I wouldn't call it angry, very passionate, emotional stuff about the films at the time that Rotten Tomatoes was given good rankings, like La La Land. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is not a good movie at all, La La Land. And I didn't think Moonlight should have won Best Picture. Anyway, so it's just my passion to say, this is not right. Something's going on here. I think the game is being stacked against what's really happening, how people really perceive these films, Jay. So a friend of mine in Las Vegas, Fred Conquest, said, why don't we do a show called Mosky at the Movies? So it was his brainchild. I said, that's a great idea, Fred. let's do something. Let me write a script. Let's get something going. So I would drive to Vegas and we'd make the shows, Jay. And people, your viewers can see them. Your listeners, excuse me, can see the shows. My viewers can see the shows on YouTube, like you said.
Well, and there are so many shows on YouTube. I just saw 5, but you've done so many, and you're syndicated nationally, which is important. And I think that
almost. I'm almost there, Jay. Almost. Right now, it's on social media, very popular. Been in the Vegas market, but I'm almost there at that point, Jay. So it's almost happening.
And I saw you in a commercial, I think. Haven't you been in a couple TV commercials?
Yes. Just different things. I'm trying to remember which ones because I've done so many of them. But the most recent thing, Jay, was that Justin Timberlake. Oh, can I mention this about the JT thing?
No,
the JT music video. Justin Timberlake music video, which was a hit music video, came out in 2016, 2 years ago. And here he is performing on the Super Bowl at the halftime show tonight. So, and I'm disappointed I'm not with him. That's a side note. I'm kind of bummed out about that. I was really hoping they would take the dancers and be a part of his halftime show. But anyway, I digress. So, essentially, it's different things, Jay. I was in 1,000 Ways to Die, a GoDaddy spec spot, just different things. I just can't remember so many things that I've done. But I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I can't remember.
No, it's not bragging. You're talking about a career you have done really well since you left Los Angeles. I guess we both have done okay since we left Los Angeles. Yeah. Mosky and I worked together for a number of years in Los Angeles, and it's nice to see his successes. Mosky at the movies is a big deal. Let's talk about lead actresses and where they stand with you.
Okay, now lead actresses, I loved Robbie, Margot Robbie, who played the Tonya Harding character in I, Tonya, and I think I would like to see her win it. I really feel strongly about that. The other best actresses, Jay, are Sally Hawkins, of The Shape of Water. She plays a deaf lady in The Shape of Water. Meryl Streep, here we go again. Meryl Streep in The Post, directed by Steven Spielberg, about the release of the Daniel Ellsberg papers during the Vietnam War, and the Washington Post breaking the story, or the issue of the Supreme Court of Freedom of Speech. Frances McDormand, who won, by the way, the Golden Globes Award for Best Actress in Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Again, Margot Robbie, I, Tonya, and Saoirse Ronan. I probably pronounced it wrong, her name, but she's an Irish actress, was in the movie Brooklyn. Saoirse Ronan is in Lady Bird, does an outstanding job. And this is a woman who has a deep, brogue Irish accent in real life, Jay, and she blew me away. Have you seen Lady Bird, by the way?
No.
Well, but I've never been have you been to Sacramento? Because I have not been to Sacramento in my life.
Of course I've been. Everyone's been. You haven't been?
No.
Well, for gosh sakes. I'll tell you, when I was at Sacramento, I was following the route of the 49ers. I was following,
oh my God.
And I was panning for gold, and I said, boy, this is simple. I can't believe there's so much gold. And I had these test tubes filled with gold, and I went to an assayer in Sacramento on the way north, and I handed him my test tubes, and I should have known as soon as he said, "Hey, we've got another rich person here who's discovered gold." I should have known. It was all fool's gold, pyrite.
Oh.
I was ready to retire, Mosky.
You never know. Maybe you can go buy a gold mine in North Scottsdale. Some gold mines.
Well, you know who's selling them? Our old friend Preston Westmoreland.
Exactly. That's what I was alluding to.
Preston is selling gold mines galore. All right, let's take a quick break. Mosky at the movies. State Representative Jay Lawrence, witty friend of mine, David Moskowitz, Mosky at the movies, and you can see more about Mosky if you go to YouTube and find Mosky at the movies, or Google Mosky. Coming up, I think, is the The Meryl Streep, The Post. I am a little disappointed, Mosky, in that all of these awards today, the Hollywood people are so anti-Trump, and I, of course, am a
Yes.
I am a very strong supporter of our president, and I am sick
I am too.
of the way he's being treated by Hollywood.
I 1,000%, Jay. It's BS. I know I can't say the word on the air, but it is BS. I did vote for Trump, and I live here in Hollywood, L.A., and I have this arm's length distance with these people because it's just like it just boggles my mind why it's so negative, and it has to do also with the late night talk show hosts too, very negative leaning in general, other than Fox News. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's very disappointing. And by the way, one of my notes I was going to talk to you about is
Please.
Here's Meryl Streep. Here's what pisses me off. And I'm glad you brought this up. I do not want to see her again, Meryl Streep, on the Oscar cast on March 4th. Get up there and be preaching to us again. Nobody wants to. Middle America doesn't want to hear that BS. That's why they hate Hollywood. You know, a lot of people.
Well, the ratings have gone down on the nighttime shows, on football because of the kneeling, which they did not do today at the Super Bowl.
God.
And the ratings on people are going to films less, I think, because of the Hollywood anger and the way they've put down this president.
That's right. And the Grammys was like that, too. Did you see the Grammys? They had, which Hillary couldn't read excerpt from the movie Fire and Fury. On the Grammys, it's the music show, crying out loud, right? What are they doing with Hillary Clinton on that program? You know what I mean?
Is there any chance that Meryl Streep could win just because of the politics?
No, because, yes and no. I'd say no because of the competition she has this time around. With Margot Robbie, Frances McDormand, by the way, she won a Golden Globe for 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. She seems to be a favorite. And Sally Hawkins playing a deaf lady in love with what I call Loch Ness Monster, a creature from the Black Lagoon type character in the 1950s. It's called The Shape of Water is the name of the movie. Sally Hawkins, who I think it's between those two. So that's why I think, did you see The Post, by the way?
No.
So, it's not like All the President's Men, no way near as the sense of urgency and the engagement of it.
Right.
Always forward. So I just can't see it, Jay. It was just she plays Katharine Graham, the former lauded publisher of the Washington Post during the Watergate and Daniel Ellsberg papers that was published. So I just can't see it, Jay, from that performance. It's just it's good, but not great.
I am looking at Musky, I'm looking at lead actors, and it's nice to see Denzel Washington, who is one of my, whatever his politics might be, I like him as an actor.
He's outstanding, Jay. He's always got passed over, I don't believe. Don't quote me on it, but I don't think he's won an Oscar yet. He's been passed over and over again. But it's great he's nominated. To me, he's like Meryl Streep. He's always a favorite of Hollywood, it seems like, and he's nominated. But he's a good guy. Like you don't hear him eschewing this preachiness, about stuff to people. Whatever, politics or sexual harassment, whatever. You know what I mean? He's just very non-political that way.
Describe the lead actors. Describe the lead actors and their films, Mosky.
Okay, so first off, and I just saw this movie last night, Phantom Thread, Daniel Day-Lewis. This is his last movie. He said he's retiring. He played Lincoln and a lot of other movies along the way.
I'll tell you what movie I recall with Daniel Day-Lewis. It was the film about the Indians, Native Americans. Oh, what was it?
Oh.
And he had to take people to safety, and the I believe it was Comanches. Can anybody? Oh, darn it!
I'll look it up, Jay, while we're talking.
But Daniel Day-Lewis, it was a very dramatic film, and I loved the music from the film, and there were mountains to climb and young Indians who were killed and women to be protected, and it was just the typical story.
Last of the Mohicans. Last of the Mohicans.
That's it. Last of the Mohicans. It was. I watched that about 3 or 4 times just to hear the music and see the one scene. And he was terrific in the film.
Yeah, outstanding actor. This is his last movie, or at least he said so, Jay.
What are some of the others?
Yeah, so some of the others. Okay, moving on. Give me 1 second here. I got to go through different screens. Timothy Chalamet is his name. He's actually an American actor born in New York. One of his parents is French. He played in Call Me By Your Name. Now, that film was a hard film to watch for Timothy Chalamet, who's a straight guy playing a gay character, he's 22 years old in real life. He played a 70-year-old character that has a love affair with another man, which is played by Armie Hammer, who does they do an outstanding job, Jay, but I don't want to sound homophobic, but I'm a straight guy, and to watch these... let me just say this. Timothy Chalamet is an outstanding actor, but it's just really hard to watch two guys making out if you're a straight guy, and for a length of time. So this was a hard movie for me personally to watch. But I think Timothy Chalamet is an amazing actor. This guy talks French. This takes place in France. He's talking French, and you buy the fact that this guy is an American but talking French so effortlessly.
Is it possible that just because of the politics, he could win?
If you're talking about the politics, it'll be Denzel Washington, who hasn't won one, from my recollection. I think the person who's going to win it is going to be Gary Oldman for Darkest Hour. Now, you have Daniel Kaluuya. This is a guy from, I believe, South Africa, who was in Get Out, which is a hybrid movie, Jay. It's not just a horror film, and it does say a lot about the way white people perceive black people. This is according to the director and just the movie itself, if you've seen it. But Gary Oldman plays Winston Churchill. He does a phenomenal job. I didn't like the movie personally. It was arduous to watch, Darkest Hour. But Gary Oldman does an amazing job as Winston Churchill. So I think he'll win it. If it's political, Jay, it'll be Denzel Washington or Daniel Day-Lewis, because why? It's his last movie, so let's give it to him, that kind of a thing.
Unless Timothy, because they want to promote the gay relationships.
Oh, God, you know what? Oh, God, see, I hope, I pray. The Academy expanded is 6,600 members. I pray, and I have nothing against, gay people. I'm not homophobic, but it's more like, come on, you can't shove this stuff down people's throats. And people say to me, oh, Hollywood, it's always, somebody said to me the other day, Hollywood, they push the envelope, don't you know, David? I go, yeah, but you can't foist gay themes on people when the majority of people are not gay. I'm just saying in general in middle America. I think if you took somebody in middle America, Jay, and had them watch Call Me By Your Name, they'll say what I said to. This is a hard film to watch. I've seen, Jay, a couple walked out. A man and a woman couple walked out of the movie theater at the end of the movie, towards the end of Call Me. But that's so. It really, I like to think I'm right on the money when it comes to my perception of it. Jay, I can't see it. I really can't see it happening just because it's gay themes. But Timothy Chalamet is unbelievable. Oh, he also was a Lady Bird, by the way. He played this rock and roll character kid, kind of had a lot of girlfriends. This kid, the guy's an amazing actor. Period.
Okay, tell you what, Mosky, we've only got about a minute. We've got 2 minutes left. Give us a preview of Best Picture. Preview. There are more films than I've ever seen nominated for Best Picture.
Well, here's what it is, Jay. Academy's allowed, make this quick. The Academy's allowed to nominate 10 pictures. They nominated 9, just like they did last year. Very disappointed. Why? Because I, Tonya should have been nominated. That, to me, was the best film. It wasn't. Very disappointed about that. And the movie Wonder Woman wasn't nominated. So if they had that one more slot, it was only nominated 9 out of 10, why couldn't the Academy, the 6,600-member Academy, put in I, Tonya, which to me was one of the best movies out there this past year, 2017.
Have they ever nominated this many films before?
Yes. A couple years ago, they changed the parameters where you can now nominate 10 films. But in my opinion, if you're going to nominate 10, put in 10. Don't put in 9. And why not put in 10 directors? Why are you putting in 5 directors or 5 actors and actresses? You know what I mean, Jay? Spread it out. Why
all right. In 30 seconds remaining, what of these pictures, which ones should I be sure to see besides Darkest Hour?
Okay, I, Tonya, Lady Bird, Get Out, Three billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri, and The Shape of Water.
Mosky at the movies. We're going to talk to Mosky probably next week, and we'll look at the rest of the Academy Awards, and we'll run down these films. Mosky, really good to talk to you. I know you'll go back to football.
You bet, pal. Let's quarter. Thanks for having me, Jay. I'll see you next week.
Thanks, Mosky. Bye.